Sports drama doesn't stop once the game is over.
I'm sick and tired of all this bullshit. Now, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 press conferences in sports history. For this list, we'll be looking at sports press conferences that were unique, strange, or even iconic.
Effective immediately, I am banning Mr. Sterling for life from any association with the Clippers organization or the NBA.
Number 10, steroids, Alex Rodriguez.
In the year 2001, 2002, 2003, I experimented with a banned substance that eventually triggered a positive test.
In 2009, it was revealed that MLB superstar Alex Rodriguez had tested positive for a banned substance during the 2003 season.
I did take a banned substance, and for that, I'm very sorry and deeply regretful.
In response, the New York Yankee held a press conference to explain his side of the story. During the presser, Rodriguez read off a piece of paper, occasionally looking up to make eye contact with the sea of reporters in front of him.
We consulted no one and had no good reason to base that decision. It was pretty evident that we didn't know what we were doing.
The entire event felt rehearsed, with Rodriguez pausing at key moments to examine the room, with his apparent lack of sincerity making this presser feel unnatural. Rodriguez's reputation would take a major hit during the incident, and this infamous press conference definitely didn't help.
One thing I know is for sure, that baseball is a lot bigger than Alex Rodriguez.
Number 9, I'm a special one, Jose Mourinho.
So I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
When Portuguese football manager Jose Mourinho joined the Chelsea Football Club in the summer of 2004, a press conference was called to introduce him to the media. From the moment the presser started, Mourinho was dripping in arrogance, which he was quick to point out numerous times.
We have top players, and I'm sorry, I'm a bit arrogant. We have a top manager.
He went on to state that his arrogance was justified because he'd won a UEFA Champions League with FC Porto 1 month earlier. But it was Mourinho's nonchalant behavior and indifferent responses to reporters' questions that made this press conference one to remember. The event culminated with the manager stating that he is, quote, a special one. But perhaps he was right, as Chelsea did end up winning the Premier League title under Mourinho's management in 2005.
Again, please don't call me arrogant, because what I'm saying is true.
Number 8, apology, Michael Vick.
I want to apologize to all the young kids out there for my immature acts.
When it was revealed that NFL quarterback Michael Vick was involved in an illegal dogfighting ring in 2007, the world was appalled. Vick had been the toast of the league, appearing on magazine and video game covers off the field while racking up impressive statistics on it. However, this all came crashing down in the spring of 2007. Found guilty that summer, Vick held a press conference to tell his side of the story and to apologize for his actions.
If I'm more disappointed with myself, if anything, it's because of all the young people, young kids that I've let down, who look at Michael Vick as a role model.
The widely covered press conference was the first time Vick had spoken publicly on the issue. Moral of the story, if you're a football player making millions of dollars, maybe just stick to that.
I got a lot of downtime, a lot of time to think about my actions and what I've done, and how to make Michael Vick a better person. Thank you.
Number 7, transgressions, Tiger Woods.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
Throughout the aughts, Tiger Woods was without question the face of golf, breaking record after record and winning 14 major championships. However, his public image went into free fall in late 2009 after Woods crashed his car into a fire hydrant at nearly 2:30 a.m. near his home in Florida, after which it was revealed that Tiger had been involved in a number of extramarital affairs. He then held a press conference in early 2010 apologizing for his transgressions to his wife, children, and supporters.
For all that I have done, I am so sorry.
Many argued his speech sounded insincere, but regardless, it's hard to deny that his golfing career has been a shadow of what it once was since the infamous press conference.
I ask you to find room in your heart to one day believe in me again. Thank you.
Number 6, retirement. Magic Johnson.
Because of the HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire from the Lakers today.
Magic Johnson was a 5-time NBA champion, 3-time Finals MVP, 3-time NBA MVP, and a 12-time All-Star.
Magic hit a three-pointer. The Lakers win.
He was a major figure in the game of basketball throughout the 1980s. As such, it came as an enormous shock when he announced to the world that he would be retiring from basketball after contracting the HIV virus.
I just want to make clear, first of all, that I do not have the AIDS disease, because I know a lot of you want to know that, but the HIV virus.
During the press conference in which he revealed his reason for leaving the game, Johnson attempted to keep things light, throwing in a joke when possible.
I plan on going on, living for a long time, bugging you guys like I've always have.
The legacy of this presser has lived on and was cemented in history when it was named one of the most memorable moments in 25 years of sports by ESPN in 2004.
I think sometimes we think, well, only gay people can get it, well, it's not going to happen to me. And here I am saying that it can happen to anybody, even me, Magic Johnson, it can happen to.
Number 5, we've lost Dale Earnhardt. Mike Helton.
This is undoubtedly one of the toughest announcements that I've ever personally had to make.
When it comes to the world of NASCAR, one figure stands above the rest. Dale Earnhardt, winner of 76 races, 7 Winston Cup championships, and a legend of the sport, died in a crash in the final lap of the 2001 Daytona 500.
How about Dale? Is he okay? Schrader has climbed out of his car.
That same day, NASCAR President Mike Helton held a press conference to confirm Earnhardt's death.
After the accident in turn 4 at the end of the Daytona 500, we've lost Dale Earnhardt.
As he attempts to tell media members about the tragedy, Helton is clearly shaken.
NASCAR has lost its greatest driver ever, and I personally have lost a great friend.
While the presser itself is unassuming, the aftermath of that moment remains significant to this day. NASCAR would review their safety regulations in response to Earnhardt's death, eventually adopting a number of new safety policies.
When you lose your biggest star, you got to figure out how to not lose the next one.
Number 4, the Rumble in the Jungle. Muhammad Ali.
Should Ali win the title tonight, it definitely is an historic event because he will have to definitely go down in the history of boxing as one of the all-time greats.
In the fall of 1974, Muhammad Ali fought George Foreman in the former Republic of Zaire. Before the fight, very few people in the boxing world believed Ali had a chance at victory. However, you don't earn a nickname like the greatest without an upset or two on your resume. Ali defeated Foreman with a knockout punch in the 8th round. He was then immediately rushed into a locker room for a post-fight presser. In typical Ali fashion, he completely owned the room.
I told you today, I'm still the greatest of all time.
What makes this press conference so memorable is his supreme confidence.
I kept telling him he had no punch, he couldn't hit, he's swinging like a sissy, he's missing, let me see your box. I hadn't started dancing yet.
The magnitude of this moment in the history of sports cannot be understated. Ali's victory, coupled with some brash post-fight comments, will never be forgotten.
I'm going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. His hands can't hit what his eyes can't see. So that's what happened.
Number 3, hugging Jim Irsay. Peyton Manning.
I've been a cult for almost all of my adult life. But I guess in life and in sports, we all know that nothing lasts forever.
After spending 14 seasons with the Indianapolis Colts, Peyton Manning was released by owner Jim Irsay in the winter of 2012. By the way, being released from a professional sports team is a nice way of saying you're fired.
Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I truly have enjoyed being your quarterback.
But anyway, when Irsay held a press conference to announce the decision, he made sure to highlight everything Manning had accomplished with the team, in an effort to soften the blow.
The Colts are world champions! World champions for the first time!
This culminated in an awkward embrace with his former QB before he finally let Manning take the stage. Peyton clearly goes for the handshake and appears a little taken aback when his former boss forces a hug on him. It was a moment that not even Manning's retirement speech could quite top.
There's just something about 18 years. 18 is a good number. and today I retire from pro football.
Number 2, the trade, Wayne Gretzky.
Promised Mess I wouldn't do this.
In 1988, there was no bigger player in hockey than Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky going in, Suter trying to get back. Gretzky with a shot, score!
Having led the Edmonton Oilers to 4 Stanley Cup victories throughout the 80s, the Great One held a press conference to tell the hockey world he'd been traded to the Los Angeles Kings.
There comes a time when
the magnitude of the trade was staggering. Gretzky and 2 other Oilers were traded in exchange for $15 million, 2 players, and 3 first-round picks. What makes the press conference so memorable is Gretzky's sincere display of emotion, making it painfully clear he was disappointed to leave his adopted hometown of Edmonton.
I'm disappointed about having to leave Edmonton. I truly admire all the fans and respect everyone over the years.
It marked the end of an era for the NHL, and Gretzky would never again win a Stanley Cup.
It is home for me, and always will be, and it's a tough thing to go through.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Oh, this is one of the joys of my life right here. This is great fun. There's nothing I would rather be doing. And the questions are so incisive and well thought out that how could one not enjoy the challenge of trying to find the answer?
Are we pretending? Are we pretending again?
It's hard to hear you.
Are
we pretending again? Are you pretending? Oh, no.
Are we pretending? Are we doing this fairy tale again?
No, you are the biggest I've ever seen, for sure.
Number 1, the decision, LeBron James.
You ready to go, LeBron? Where's the powder? Left it at home.
In the summer of 2010, there was no bigger fish in the sea of NBA free agency than LeBron James.
Oh, are you kidding me, LeBron James? That was sick!
Courted by a number of teams, James held a live ESPN special titled The Decision to announce who he'd be playing for in the upcoming season.
LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
While King James would eventually declare his intention to sign with the Miami Heat, the reaction he received from fans, critics, and players was largely negative. The backlash stemmed from what many people saw as an unnecessary and unprofessional promotional event. However, the fact that LeBron won 2 championships with his new team, not to mention the $6 million raised for charities by his ESPN special, cannot be ignored.
It could have been done differently, but at the end of the day, that I would have still, wanted to be a part of this franchise.
Do you agree with our list? What's your all-time favorite sports press conference?
All these stupid-ass questions every night.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Second greatest press conference ever. Great. Good job.